I have traveled back in time to see the role of women throughout history. I have just arrived in rainy Sparta as the first place in my journey. I've just spotted a woman in the field where it seems to be that she is doing some type of farming or working. Let's go!
Tonight we're going hard, 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 hard. Just like the world is ours. We're tearing it apart, part. You know we're superstars.
Well, isn't it a good thing I brought my umbrella? This rain is terrible. Okay. Hello! I am from the future. I was hoping you could help me out by answering some questions.
Yes, hi. I would be delighted to, but I must finish what I'm doing, if that's okay with you.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So I first would like to know, what is your role as a woman in Sparta?
Well, no matter what, I put the state first, just like the men of Sparta. My purpose here is to be a proper wife and mother for our Spartan heroes. Since I am married, my husband isn't home often because he is in the military. So my job as a wife is to watch my land and raise the strongest children and of course, help the city. When my husband is away, I will often own land and try my best to put forth effort to hold Sparta together.
Well, sounds like a very big job. Are you proud of how your life is?
Well, yes, I have wonderful children, and my purpose here shows that us women are as strong as men.
What do you teach your wonderful kids to value in Sparta?
Discipline, duty, and strength, because that is what we all value.
Well, it seems to me that you've got some great kids. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm Explorer Sam. I just left Sparta and I am now in the Tang and Tong periods. I'm here with a young woman who doesn't want to be seen because of her painful ways and yes, but we are in a wet, humid cave and she seems to be in a lot of pain. So let's go check it out. I'm just going to ask her a couple questions. So, what is your role as a woman in this time period?
Well, women in China overall are considered inferior, the lowest class. We are considered less important to our family's prosperity and status. What makes our status even lower is the binding of the feet.
What is foot binding? Is this it?
Yes, this is what foot binding is. What it is a very painful and excruciating process that is to make your feet smaller. What they do is they break your feet and wrap them up and leave them in the wrap until my foot will adjust to it so it can break by itself. The end result has to be such small feet that they fit inside of a man's hand. Once this happens, I will be able to be married and live a happy life and have a family. This is also what is considered beautiful in our country.
Do you believe this is fair?
Well, it's not that I truly have a choice. I have to do this so I can live a better life as I get older and live with a wealthy man.
Well, you seem to be in a lot of pain and I don't want to leave you having to answer questions.
Yes.
And so, thank you for your time.
No problem.
Sam is out! I am Explorer Sam, and I am here in Sumer, one of the 4 river valleys. Excuse me, miss. May I ask you some questions?
Sure, what is it that you need?
Well, I would just like to know, how are you treated here in Sumer as a woman?
Okay, well here in Sumer, most women have a low status, but some have a high. I am in a high status because as a woman in a high status, I can go to places like the market, buy and sell things, borrow land, or read and write.
Okay, well, do you live at home with the family?
Yes, with my family and husband.
What happens if you are mistreated at home? Do you have a way out of the house?
Yes, I do, but in the end, leaving wouldn't be a great idea because the man would be the real one who won and gets the advantage because he has all the power and without him, I am powerless.
Oh, that's tough. I see. And do you have a job?
Yes, I work as a kitchen worker, but some women here can have jobs like spinners, wool workers, brewers, millers, and like myself, a kitchen worker.
Interesting. Well, thank you for your time, ma'am.
No problem.
As I always say, Sam out, back to 2011. See ya!
Yes, I do, very much so. You look at the past 100, 125 years, and the treatment of women in this country, for example, has changed dramatically. You can go back to the early parts of the 20th century when women fought and eventually won the right to vote. That certainly showed different treatment of women in this country. I think then you fast forward several decades, into the 60s and then 70s, and the average woman was going to college, was getting a degree, and was going out into the workforce, much like her male counterparts. So certainly, I've seen a lot of changes in my lifetime, and certainly as far back as the early 20th century, we've seen many changes. Some of the things women could do now that they couldn't do many years ago is vote. In the United States, for example, women have the right to vote. That they did not have that until the early 20th century. Also, you see many women being leaders in industry, in business. You did not see that 25, 50 years ago, certainly. You did not see that. So those are some of the things that women are empowered to do now that they did not have many years ago. Well, I think if you look at our society, men and women are looked upon equally. In other parts of the world, certainly not. Women in many Arab countries are second-class citizens, and they're treated as such. In some of these countries, they're not allowed to even go to school and get an education. So it depends on where you are and who you are when you make that evaluation.